dream. And when I woke up, you were nowhere to be seen. The world was burned to the ground. There was no one around. Mommy, mommy, please answer me. What does it mean? What does it mean? We are visitors here in this time and space. One day we'll have to leave, whether or not you believe or agree. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. How many have gone before me? How many will come after I'm gone? The truth will live on. The truth will live on. Long after I'm gone, the truth will live on. The world is at the end of its cycle. You're the messenger, the oracle. Humanity have reached its pinnacle. Balance and harmony right in the vehicle. Supreme is dreaming of the particles. The experience to coming into the world and explore is temporary. Lose all attachment and desire. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome to another satsang with Auset. Yes, welcome, welcome. It is a wake up call. This time to wake up. Yes, it is time now. This is a wake up call with Auset MAAT. Today, I'm bringing awareness to false self identification. Yes, how do the I identify? The I and I is identifying as all kinds of things which you are not. How do the I identify? The I is under false self identification. This is the reason why the I and I cannot wake up. So I want to say hail to the I self supreme, primal light. Hail to the I, the one true light. Hail to I, one true self. Hail to I, light throughout the ages. Light without beginning nor end. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. Hail, hail to I, one true pure self unmanifest. In alignment with all the I, shattered and fragmented fractal selves to restore balance back onto I. Victory, 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 victory. I am victorious. I am triumphant. So let's face this problem that I and I is faced with. I and I have a huge problem right now. False self-identity. False self what? Identity. The I and I is identifying as all kinds of things which the I is not. This is the problem. I and I are under delusion, under false self-identity. So the I don't even want to ask who am I, because what, you're under false self-identity and you think that you know who you are. It's obvious that you do not know who you are based on how you identify and all the words them that's coming out of your mind.
It's obvious that you do not know, so why don't you seek to know? Why don't you ask the I self, the intelligence within, the I self, the intelligent self, the self that is not wearing this duality consciousness, that is not wearing this mind, the self that knows, the self that is the real and not the dream. How come the I is not asking? Why aren't you asking? What is the source of my existence? You think that you know and you don't know. Everything around you is a lie, cannot be trusted. But you think that you can trust these ego characters doing all kind of atrocities in the names of these ego characters because your mind is delusional. You're in this false self-identity. You don't want anyone who seeks truth to speak truth. You try to cow them down and bully them and then assassinate them out of this body. Eliminate them out of this body so no one else can hear the truth. I am here to tell you that you need to stop this foolishness because many and many, the I and I are rising. You will not be able to cow down and bully and assassinate all the I and I self that rise up here speaking truth. All your ego false selves who are on the mission to do this. So it's time now to lose attachment to these characters that have been influencing the I wrongly. These characters have been influencing the I wrongly. All these supreme ego characters, if they were the real and the truth, wouldn't the world be in balance? Wouldn't the world have harmony? Wouldn't the world have peace? No, they are not the truth because you are calling on them for ages, for eons. You rise, you fall, you rise, you fall, and you go in the same circle with this same false identity. You don't see that you are going in the same loop. You are looping and looping in this circle and you can't get out of it because of how you identify. This is the reason why. Stop identifying as these characters. You don't know truth. You take your false perceptions and your propaganda and you impose it on the INIs, especially women and children. You dominate them. You want them to believe your foolishness. Everybody have to follow your delusions. Want to bring others into your own delusions. And if one don't follow your delusions, you bully them and eliminate them from this body. Like, come on already. It's time now to wake up. Time now for truth. What is the source of my existence? You need to ask. You do not know. Who am I? The I do not know the I self. The I is under false what? Self-identity. What is this I that speaks all the time, non-stop speaking, talking, showing you visions? This is the ego, the false self. The I must rise up as the real self. This ego has stolen the I identity and claim itself to be the all-knower, the all-seer, but it cannot see the truth because its eyes are closed and it's identifying wrongly. Everything this ego creates, it identifies as its creation. This ego is identifying as all of its creation. Are you this creation? You are making a creation in your imagination. Hail to the I, the primal light. Hail to the I, the one true light. Hail to the I, the one true self. Hail, hail, hail. Now is the time. Now is the time for truth. Now is the time for truth. Now is the time for the I to know the I self. It is time now. Yes. So let's dive into this identity crisis. I want the I to know that the answer to this question, who am I, is the problem in the world. Why is the answer to this question is the problem in the world? Because everyone is under false self-identity. They say, who am I? They identify as the creation. Everything that this ego creates, it identify as it. And so when they do that and the ego identify as its creation, then it becomes a problem. The real and the true answer to this question is also the solution to our problems. So if you know the real answer to who am I, that you're not answering as your creation, but you are answering as the one who is beyond the creation, then it becomes your solution, right? False self-identity leads to problems. This is the reason why all I and I have all these problems, because the I is identifying as the I creation. The I is identifying as all the dream characters. This is all the mind creation. These characters are not real. These characters are not real and they will all be dissolved. So you are here fighting others. If one says something about one of those dream characters, we have many ones in this world wants to eliminate you because you say something against those false characters. This is an identity crisis. Ones are fighting over some foolishness because what? This is an identity crisis. One do not know the I self. One is sitting there fighting over territory, fighting over resources into this existence, and you don't see what's going on around you. You don't see that this existence is slowly dissolving itself. This existence, you cannot beat this war against this existence. There's a time for creation, imagination, and then there's a time when you are destroying your creation to be. I've seen them do it thousands of times. They go around, they see a house that's dilapidated, it's about to fall, it have all kind of problems. What do? They come and they excavate it. It is not sound, it have no ground, it cannot stand, it must be destroyed. Why you want to hold on to this old decrepit house for? It must be destroyed. This is the same thing with this world. You're fighting for resources and fighting for gold and riches and all this, and everyone is chasing money. This is all going to be collapsed. All of it will be collapsed. Let's fight for the real thing, for the I self, the I true identity, the I do not know the I self. This is the reason why the I is following egos and chasing money. I many eons ago, the I was living in balance with this earth. You build sustainable living. Everyone live in a community. Everyone eat. If there's famine, all go hungry. Not not in this age and time of technology. When one know how to create everything, one know how to do mass farming, one know how to do all of these things, and people are still hungry. People don't have place to live. Why? All because of greed and selfishness. Because the I is under false self-identity. So the I created what? Some superiority complex, some caste system. So the I is above all the I other selves, taking everything that this earth can create all into the I basket and not sharing with all the I and I self. This way of living is coming to an end. Watch what I am saying. This way of living must end. Yeah. For all them who have, they must give to the ones who do not have. It must be balanced. So they are fighting right now to hold on to their false self identity and their false ideologies, and they're spreading propagandas and lies. And it's time for the I and I to know truth. Who am I? The true answer to this question will solve all the I and I problems. Because right now, the I is answering who am I? And your answer is causing the world problem. So you need to ask this from the I self, because you're asking the ego is directing the I wrongly. You need to ask the self. Don't ask your ego. Your ego wants everything for itself. Your ego is blind. Yeah? It's time to ask the I real self, the knower of truth, the I self that is the truth, the knower of all. It is time to ask. Let's remove all these layers to get down to the real self. You have layered yourself with all this false identity. All these things are caked onto the eye. We need to remove these layers down to the real self. Who am I at the core of my being? So, for all the INIs who do not know, I, let me introduce myself again. I am primal light, prepared for this dream duality world, this dream duality existence, with this identity as Auset MAAT. I am the daughter of the I Self Supreme Primal Light Aten Ra. She is the mother self with her masculine self, Amen, as the father self of this dream world. She is now here bringing our world into balance. Because why? She has made a duality self, which means that she has made a replica of herself that is the sleeping, dreaming self that is and becomes the world, this world that we are in. Because herself is sleeping and dreaming, herself that is sleeping and dreaming do not know her, do not know the real, and only when herself wakes up, herself knows her as the real and the truth. When herself sleeps, she becomes the ego false self and fight against her, the real. And herself that becomes the dream and is the world is known as Ra, is known as The consciousness is known as Brahma, is known as the Christ consciousness. Because when that self of Aten Ra sleeps, she becomes the mind avatar. She goes to sleep, she has no more awareness. Now the mind, the consciousness takes over her and creates its avatar. All right? So this is where our false self-identity rise from. It rises from the I parent self that has taken the identity of the dream and is the one that is deceiving I in the dream when the I sleeps. The consciousness that everyone is wearing is deceiving one all the time. This consciousness is with you. This is the same consciousness that the I wears. Identity crisis. This is what we under right now, an identity crisis. For ages, humanity have been plagued by false self-identity. If we take a look back to every war, every conflict, false self-identity stands at the root of it. We are experiencing an identity crisis. And it's like classifying yourself as all kinds of things. Identity crisis is what we under right now. False self-identification has been the bane of our existence. It is time to get to the root of this issue. I want I and I to be asking the I self and not this ego. This ego love to talk, love to entrance one in visions and dreams. Show you more dreams. They call the realms and dimensions more dreams. It is time to get to the root of this issue. Ask, who am I of the I real self? And what self is that? The self that you think that you should be giving away to every god and deities willy-nilly. The self, the I self called the soul, is the I real self. Call it back into the I body. So it can bear witness to the I of the truth of this and answer the I of the I identity. Dissolve this false self identity. How do the I identify? I am asking. Let's get to the root of our identity to solve this problem once and for all. I want to make a note that if everything is being created inside a dream, can any of it be real? I am asking. If the I is sleeping, using the I imagination, and creating all of these things inside the I dream, can any of these things be real? Including the characters. The I is sleeping and dreaming of these characters. Can they be real? Stop fighting over these characters. You're in an identity crisis in the world right now. Fighting over characters. They are still eliminating one when you talk against these false characters. Stop holding alliance to these characters and hold alliance to yourself called the soul. Why aren't you not defending yourself called the soul? You're here defending all these false identity, these dream characters, all these propagandas, violating the sovereignty of other beings, the I and I selves, in disguise. This is all the I in disguise. I want the I to answer yes I or not I. When I am saying this your culture, is it I? Yes or no? Yes, I or not I. Your culture. Is it you? Your race. Yes, I or not I. Is it you? Your race. Is it you? False self identity. You are bombarded with all of these layers on you. You need to remove all these layers. Your body. Is it you? Yes, I or not I. Is your body you? I want you to answer these questions. Your mind. Is it you or not you? I want to say yes, I or not I. Is this mind yourself? The ego character. Is this ego character the I? Yes, I or not I. This human being. Is it the I? Yes, I or not I. Your sexual preference. Because everyone is going about spreading this propaganda. Oh, I am this. Oh, I. Your sexual preference. All your delusional minds. Is it the I? Yes, I or not I. Wanting everyone to follow in your delusions. Yes, I or not I. When one don't agree with I. I don't want to eliminate I because I don't agree with your delusions and your false perceptions. I say, is it I? Yes, I or not I. Your sexual preference. I could. Your likes and your dislikes. Is it the I? Yes, I or not I. Your likes and your dislikes. Is it I or not I? I want you to answer these questions. This ego persona that you have personified, you in this ego, you identifying as this character. Is it the I? Yes, I or not I? I am asking. This is an identity crisis. Time now for all these false, these costumes that everyone is wearing, weighing you down. You can't come to truth because you have all of these false perceptions, all of these identity weighing you down, and you don't know truth, and you want to spread your ignorance on others. I want others to join your cause. And who is making a cause out there for stillness of mind? If you cannot see that the mind is the source and the root of all problem and call for ones to start paying attention to this mind, for stilling this mind, for every day engaging in stillness, then you are propagating more false self identity, adding to this identity crisis. No, it's a time for call for stillness. This mind is delusional. Your mind is delusional. All your beliefs is delusional. Now is the time of knowing. You can know. There's no need for belief anymore. Yes, you believe when you don't know. When you don't have confidence. Because this mind, this ego, given one lack of confidence by programming the ones from the ones was very young. I ask the 4-year-old human beings, the 5-year-old human beings. The mind has been programming them from those times, telling them, oh, you're not good enough, oh, you're not strong, oh, you're not powerful. Who is telling these little human beings this? It's coming from their mind. So you have been programmed by this mind. From you was this small human being. Now you are this big human being. I know you are being cooked into all this false identity. And you want to know program all the other little human beings. into your false perceptions. No, the age of that is over. The age of spreading ignorance and lies is over. Believe me, it is all going to fall, crumble apart. It will not stand any longer because all of these little human beings that is in this world right now, they have come equipped for all of these big human beings, especially those ones into the old bodies, the elders. They are so locked into foolishness and superstitions. They are holding all of their false perceptions. Nobody wants your religion because these young ones are coming up now, they are religionless. They will not, your false perception will not soak into their mind. They're going to rise up and stand up against this foolishness. You wait and see because the self, the I self, is programming and realigning with them to rise up against oppression and to liberate themselves. Come on now. This false self identity must be dropped. This must be dropped. So I want to reiterate, if everything is being created in a dream, if everything into this existence, including all the characters, is being created in a dream, can any of it be real? I am asking. Use your intelligence, your self intelligence, and answer this question. Can any of this be real? What are you holding on to? It is all going to be dissolved. Now is the age for knowing truth. This means that everything is in the I imagination. It's in your imagination. The I must remove all of these layers of false identity that is weighing the I down and causing all these confusions and false self identification. You need to remove these layers, your dogmas, your religions, your superstitions, your beliefs, your culture, your tribe. Among the same people, they have so many tribes. Your language, they identify that is separating the I from seeing and getting to the root of the issue. This mind, all of these layers, you must remove them from yourself. I am black, I am white, brown, Jews, Latino, Asian, white. I mean, all of these layers must be removed from the I. These are false. They are false and they must not stand because underneath all of these layers is the one true self. The same self is under all of these layers. This is just a cloaking the I is wearing because of the ego is cloaking the I in false perception. The ego has put a cloak over the I. The I is blind. The I cannot see. This ego is cloaking the I. The I is wearing a device called the ego that is cloaking the I, want to keep the I in trance because when the ego keep the I in trance, the ego can keep the dream going. The I self, who has created this dream and all The I and I fractal fragmented self that has come in, the I and I who is the dream, wants to wake up, wants to end the I dream. I want you to understand what I is saying. The I that is sleeping and dreaming has now created a nightmare. This dream has turned into a nightmare and a monster to the I self. And the I want to end the I dream. Do you understand me? The I want to end the I dream. But all of these characters want to hold the I still entranced into this dream. Why? Because the I is under false self identification. Yeah? When all the I and I come awake that has been sleeping and entranced into this dream, all these false character, they try to eliminate the I and I when the I speak truth. But this will be no more because many of the I and I's are rising up. Are you gonna go and eliminate all of them? No, they're gonna rise up against you. Many all over the world, they are rising. The real are rising up. And all of these false characters that have been eliminating themselves will no longer have this power. Because many all over the world are rising. So they're not just one and two rising up. Many are rising. The reals are rising. So all the false ones who have been trying to hold all of the real in the dream so that they cannot wake up, they will all be dissolved. All of these characters right now, many young ones are very confused. And we have the blind following the blind. And now these young ones, they are rising up. They say we want truth. We want to know truth. They are no longer following religions. And so what they're doing now, they're trying to encourage them to go back into spirituality. That is also false. No one is telling one to seek the truth and say it is the mind that is the problem. Who am I? How do I identify? How does the I identify? Duality consciousness, this mind has created an avatar to explore the world in. This is what is happening. You're wearing this avatar and you are fighting against yourself in as these other avatar because they are sleeping and dreaming. The I and I can't see the I self underneath the avatar because the avatar is a creation of the mind, the ego, this identity crisis. I must come into awareness and come into self knowing. All beliefs must be ending. It's time for knowing. It's time for truth. It's time for stillness. False self identity. This mind avatar is not the I. Who am I? How did I come into being? Self inquire so that I can know what is the source of my existence, allowing me this world experience. If you don't ask, how are you going to know? Only the I self know. Remember, the mind avatar is not the I. All of these characters, all these gods, they are not the I, they are just the ego, false self. Just like this character that you are in, is it the I? It's not the I. Just the ego, false self, the avatar. of the mind. It's time to denounce all ties to these dream characters. What is the purpose of denouncing all ties? All this is so this duality mind, the ego, will know that this is a dream world. The mind do not know this. The mind think that everything in its imagination is the real. This is all in your mind, in your imagination. It is not real. This world is not real. These characters are not real. They are just an imagination. The mind has created. The mind, the consciousness does not know that this is a dream. The consciousness think its imagination creation is real. The consciousness is controlling all of the self in the dream and does not want them to wake up to stop the dream. When you wake up, do your nightmare end, right? Your dream end. This is what must happen for the self. Because when you go to sleep, you are already inside of a dream of the I self that is creating the world, and now you goes to sleep while you are inside of the dream. You are already sleeping and now you are twice sleeping. Follow? So you go into many dreams and you sleep in them and you sleep and sleep. So there's many layers of waking up. The dream ends when the sleeping, dreaming consciousness wakes up. This consciousness has to wake up. Yourself has to wake up. All the I selves that are sleeping must wake up to the real and dissolve the dream. This character that you are playing in this live movie, is it you? Is it the I am asking? Right? To dissolve the I ego self, it is time. It is time to dissolve this false self identity, which is this ego false self. It is time to awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. This is what? The wake up call with Auset MAAT. It is time to denounce all ties to all of these dream characters. All religions must end. I am calling for all religion to end and for the I to go on self journey of seeking truth from the I self and still in the I mind. I'm calling for this throughout all the world. It's it's time for the I to take command. Take back your power from this mind, this ego, spreading lies and propagandas and delusions. It is time to still the I mind. It is time for self knowing. It is time to end beliefs, time to end religion, dogmas, superstitions. It is time to end traditions that no longer serve the I and prevents the I from knowing and being I self. Yes, can follow traditions that teach you about how to live sustainable in the world, how to plant, how to reap crop. Yeah, good traditions. Traditions when it involves women and children, mutilating, keeping women in bondage, raping, marrying them off at young age. They have no say in their existence, brainwashing them into these religions. This time is over. They will all rise up and stand up for themselves. It is time now. It's time to end those traditions that oppress and violate the I and I human rights and the I self rights. Those oppressive regimes and oppressive religions, it is time to end them. They no longer serve us, whatever purpose they came in for, to oppress and keep women down, because they know that the time was going to come when the feminine was going to rise to restore balance. And these ego do not want that to happen. But you can't stop it. It must happen. It is time now. It's time to end all tradition that violates the I sovereignty. that violates I rights to self-determination. I denounce all ties to this dream illusionary existence. Let me say that one more time. I denounce all ties to this dream illusionary existence. I denounce all ties to this dream, all these dream characters called the ego, false self, the human beings, the gods, the deities, the ancestors. I denounce all ties to these dream characters, especially those ones who are holding to these characters to know truth, that I must denounce all ties to these dream characters. They are not real. Only the I want true self that is beyond all of these characters is the real. How does one gain self-knowledge? By denouncing ties to all these dream characters that do not exist. They are what? In your imagination. All your imagination characters do not exist in the real. This is a dream that they exist in. This is a wake-up call with MAAT, Auset, Auset, MAAT. This is time now to know this truth. Know that I am not here to be your friend, because all these dream characters, they can never be my friend. This has proven time and time again. If you are an ego character and you're not in your real self, with the void between yourself and this ego, you can never be my friend. I know this time and time again, it has proven to me. They will turn against you in a split second. So, I have learned my lessons and I know this truth. No ego character can ever be friend to I. So, all the ones them who are reaching and looking, I am not your friend. I am here on a mission. I am not here to appease this ego. I am on one mission, for dissolving my ego and all my ego false selves. This is my mission. I am not here to befriend my ego and my ego characters. Yeah, because the ego is never going to like I because of what I stand for. They will all stand against I, this ego. Only the self will stand with I. So, don't try to think that you can deceive I. So it's time for all the I and I to dissolve this ego false self and know truth. I am not this body. I am not this mind. False self identity. You are identifying as this mind. You think that you are this mind, because I hear all the I and I's are claiming that you are this mind, you're this consciousness, because you don't know and you don't want to ask. But I am here to tell you the truth. Of course, your ego does not like this, but it can't stop me anyways. But I am here to give you an affirmation. Please chant this affirmation. I am not this body. You don't know how powerful this is to this ego, this mind. If you don't say it, you're not reinforcing to this mind that you are not this body, because this mind, this ego, believe that this avatar is itself and it is the real. This mind do not know that it is immersed in a dream. It is in ignorance. It do not know. You have awareness because your self soul is illuminating the path for you. So I am here to remind the I am not this body. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this ego. I am not this consciousness. I am not this ego false self, this mind avatar, this God being, the dream character. It is not I. I am the eternal self. I am the eternal truth. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. If you have one of those characters come to you and give you a name, believe me, they are false. All of the real selves come and they say, I have no name. I am you. Every real self come and say that. Even Aten Ra, she never came to me and tell me that she was Aten Ra. She said, I am you. I am primal light. She gave me something, a word that I can identify as. I am primal light, meaning I am the first light. This is all that means. I am the one true light. I am the light throughout the ages, beginning, have no beginning, have no end. When I am saying I am primal light, everyone is all afraid and scared. What does that mean? I am the one true light. This is what the I self is told me, that I am light. I am the self. I am the primal light self. I am all of this. So you don't know that you are light. Right now you are an electromagnetic being. Because you are identifying as this avatar, this character, you don't know that you are light. Your body is illuminating light. This body, all this aim of this body is to produce light. Them who are observing and watching, they're watching to see who's illuminating, because your body is emitting light off of it, depending on what level you're at in waking up from the dream. They see you, they know who's waking up. No, they can't stop it. They have their satellite watching all over, but they can't stop all the ones who are rising all over the world. I am the true light. I am the self. I am self supreme primal light, the unmanifest. So, body be healed, mind be healed, because many ones, they have sick bodies, they have sick mind, more than the average. So, let's heal our mind. Mind, be still, be still, be still, and know that I am in command. I am that I am. It is time now. So, as always, whenever you say your affirmations, always want to end with your vibrations. So the vibrations that I have learned that helped I when I was going through all the struggle. The first vibration I started out with was the ah vibration. And so let's do this vibration. Remember stillness. All right. So now we will do the aham vibration. And now we will do the ah soham vibration. Ah soham. Awesome. Yes, I. So, this has been the wake up call with Auset MAAT. The topic today has been false self identification. Remember that this character, this avatar, is not the I. The I must remove all these layers that the I identify as and return to the I ultimate true state. Return to I self knowing. And so I am victorious. I am triumphant. Victory, 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 victory. Thank all the Ionites for joining I. Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for wanting to know more. Much honor about the I in self, in light, and in truth. Hail, hail to I, one true self. All is myself. All is I, and I alone exist. Victory, victory, victory. See, I can join I later at 8 p.m. Central Time for satsang with Auset. Thank you so much. Bye bye for now.